Okay, what's up? We had to pay for the sponsors. Also, give a shout out to our mascot, Carbon. Say hi. Okay, he doesn't want to. Let's invite Steven. Conversation is amazing as I. And we're going into the final segment. Let's get Steven back in, and we're back. So, yeah, I literally, as soon as I save this, I have about 30 messages. Like, people like, oh my God, this is so good. I didn't even know, like, such and such and such. And everybody's like, really, really, really deep. I knew you were going to, like, shake the table with the depth. You
Shake
know what
the
I mean?
table. Ooh.
Yes, and like, shake the table, because it's like, I knew, I just, knowing you as a person, I knew that you would have the words and, like, the gall to dive into like conversations like that. And it's like, this one is the first kind of it's emotional. Like I can feel that, like, tapping into stuff like, I never thought of it like that. I never XYZ, but everybody's enjoying it. So that's all amazing. And thank everybody for watching. So we're
Praise
back with
God.
Steven.
Thank y'all.
So going into this, I feel like this would be like the hardest part of like the chat, the health, like the mental health part, because it's such a thing. It happens to all of us. I'll open up and say that, like, in my later years in life, I've found myself dealing with a lot of stuff that I could not figure out where to place. And in that space, part of it, the heaviest part was me thinking, like, where did this come from? Where, like, I would think back, like, to, I was always like happy kid. And then, life has changed. And like, what has that journey been like for you? Was it something that came to you later in life? Were there different things that would happen throughout life? XYZ?
You did it again, Ricky.
Did what? Did
I'm
what?
gonna tell you. So today my ex just hit me up randomly. And
You got hit up by your ex?
yeah.
Oh, come on, ex.
Okay. But he said something to me that I was like, oh, this is interesting. He was like, I saw a video of yours about speaking about your depression. And in my mind, I was like, as I was in a relationship with you, I've been dealing with this for many years. And I kept it from people because I didn't want people to think that I was crazy.
Mm.
And then, so I was like, I've been dealing with this for many, many years. And a part of it is in tandem with the empathy. But when you don't have books and Instagram and friends and therapy to help you process stuff, you're like, in the dark. And I remember in high school, I made the executive decision not to watch the news before going to school because I was very clear that it fucked up my mood.
It would trigger you.
Yes, and I studied myself. The fall is horrible for me. Fall, winter. And so
Hi, Josh. No, keep going.
I studied myself and what works and what doesn't work for me. And then I think that it intensified when you go through life and you have a lot of trauma. I was abused physically as well as sexually in my adolescent to like young adult years. And so, that, and then the religious trauma, right? We're talking about a myriad of things that adds on to this. And I think that for me, I was just simply trying to survive, right? I always tell my parents, I was like, how do y'all expect me to, I said, I had to go all the way through hell to get to heaven by being in this religion. That the second that I stepped in the church doors, I was picked apart, ridiculed, and fucked up. And I had to come here because I was taught that I was supposed to see Jesus here, but I am fighting for my motherfucking life. And so a huge part of it, I didn't know that I was like, I deal with depression and anxiety. I also have ADHD, right? All of these things were very present in my life since I was a kid.
You just didn't have words for them?
I didn't have words. I was diagnosed when I was in school, but like I said, I came to Atlanta. It was really racist. So my mom was really adamant about like them not putting me on Ritalin or certain things. And so we were just like going with what we knew and how we can move about things. And so it wasn't until I actually was I was sexually molested as like a young adult. That the Holy Spirit coming out of the shower said, you need to go speak to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I Googled somebody. I Googled therapists in my area of Queens and not knowing, but instinctually knowing that I needed a Black woman.
Mm-hmm.
And that changed my life. Changed my life.
Do you
Shout
think
out to,
because it was a woman?
it was everything. Shout out to Dr. Negron. I think that I owe that to God. Because wow. I was cruised and didn't know it. And I blamed myself. And my therapist helped me process that I was sexually abused.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't know. The words that keep coming to me is I'm just thankful that I was able to listen.
Yeah.
Thankful that like God put my therapist was 15 minutes away from me. She took my insurance. And that was my first time actually having therapy.
Were you nervous?
When I saw that she was a big, busty Black woman, I was completely fine.
My mama. You were like, that's a mama right there.
Yeah. And I didn't know that she was a Black woman. I Googled her. There was no pictures. I heard her voice on the phone. There was nothing that helped me identify that she was a Black woman.
Mm-hmm.
She is actually Honduran. And she just was so understanding of me. And
Yeah.
I felt seen and heard, and a lot of the responsibilities I was putting on myself for a lot of things that happened in my life. She was like, let's place this here, let's place this here, let's place this here. You're a kid. That wasn't your responsibility. And I was able to breathe for the first time.
And how did that feel?
You don't know that you're holding your breath until you come up for air.
Until the water, you break the seal of the water and you just gasp. It's almost like a gasp.
Yeah, and I just felt, wow, I felt levels. Like, I think the freedom that I exude now, it was
You're
levels.
gonna make me cry. I knew you was gonna pull something out. You was like, oh. But
yeah, I experienced a level of freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And that tastes good.
What was that like, once that breakthrough happens? Because I know that feeling. It's funny because I know that feeling. I anticipated. I haven't had it yet. I haven't had that gas. When my therapy stopped only because of transition of the person that I was seeing needed to move to LA, and it was just a thing. I went through 3 therapists at like one given time because I just was walking. But what was I about to say? When you had that gasp moment, that one breakthrough, when you're just like, whew, what is the immediate feeling that you feel right after that? Like once that adrenaline rush goes away and that acknowledgement of what you're now in, does it immediately go to like, what is the work? Do you start wondering how you were there? Were you thinking like, why me? Or what is it, just an overall kind of bliss that rides out for a while?
I'm going to go back to the notion of being able to breathe. For many years, I have been holding my breath.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Black men that are holding their breath and not knowing it. There's a whole lot of queer Black men that are holding their breath and not knowing it. And so to know that I can breathe, this is going to sound really interesting and weird. I don't even know how to illustrate it other than what I see. I just felt like I could hug myself and that I was experiencing a level of safety for the first time ever.
I hear that 100%. I felt like I could hug myself.
Yeah, I was like, the responsibilities that was wearing on my shoulders, I didn't know that they were not my responsibility. So I get to be a kid, bro. That was the biggest revelation. That's why I get to be a kid. I never had a childhood. I never had a childhood, bro. And so the fact that I get to be a kid, that this is not my responsibility, was so refreshing. I was an uncle at 11 years old, and I raised my nephews, all 3 of them, with the help of my mom and my sisters, but I was the male figure in their life.
Yeah.
I didn't have a childhood. And so going to therapy allowed me to tap into my child. And like the option of, Steve, that is okay. Steve, that was not right. Steve, Like that was so refreshing to feel that I was 25, 26 at the time. And I fought against my therapist at the time. No, it was my, because I'm 19, I'm 20, or however old I was at the time, I don't remember. But I think it was around like, it was from the age like 19 to 20, 25, sorry. But I felt like I still had to hold myself to a level of accountability because of the age.
Yeah.
And she was like, she actually opened up the DSM book and read out the definition of sexual abuse. And then she said these words, it's sexual abuse 101. And I was able to be a kid.
No.
Yeah.
That's an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
Having that breakthrough, like going on in life now, like, because like when we were together the other night, you were expressing like you had just came out of this like another like spell. What do you use now? Where do you go to pull yourself out? Like regardless of how long it takes you, I think you said it was like a month that you were really just in like in a funk. But like what do you do now? Where do you tap back into to pull yourself out to keep going?
Yeah. So I think that a funk is an understatement. And I want to
Gotcha.
be clear about the juxtapositions.
Yeah. It's
I
almost like
was,
funk is like a weird polite way and it's just there's no reason to use it.
yeah, I was literally walking dead, and I'm not lying.
Mm,
And I think that the interesting thing about like depression within itself is that sometimes it don't have no fucking rhyme or reason.
right.
And you don't know how long that bitch gonna stay,
Yeah.
right? The first time this happened was a year prior. It lasted for like a day or two. I hopped on a plane to hug a tree and went to go visit my friend.
Hmm.
And then I was able to get to some of the root of it. This particular time, I didn't know what the root of it was until like a week prior to me coming to. Mind you, I have kids. I have a career. I was sleeping in all day, missing auditions. My kids are so amazing because they just understand.
Hmm.
And so now, like to come out of something like that, to where like I did not want to live, sir. And people be like, suicide ideations, you want to kill yourself, you want to kill. It's not that like nuance. I remember I kept saying,
I'm glad you said that because it really just is not like keep going, but I'm just glad you said that. We'll circle back on that.
so what I was feeling was, I just don't want to be here.
I just don't want to be here
I
anymore.
don't want to be here.
If I'm not here, all of this can go away.
There's something has to be better than this. I remember I was walking in the street. My friends are fucking amazing. My friends gave me their apartments to stay in to help me get myself together.
Hmm.
My friends flew up here from Georgia and took me to go be by the water.
Remember when I hugged you? Oh, when I hugged you, I said, "Baby, you just needed some water and something air, because
Yeah.
there's something just transitional about it."
Yeah. So coming out of that space, I have so much more of a will to live and to fight. And so every day is a party for me.
Hmm.
Every fucking day. I'm like, yo, it's love. I've been on this whole kick of making amends with anybody that I have an issue with because that is the thing that does not help me.
Hmm.
And so I intentionally, it's a couple of things. I wake up and I lead with love. I'm like, God, I have these auditions or this book and all this thing, but what do you want me to do? Randomly, I'll send a text message to somebody, a video of somebody. I love you. Strangers on the street. Yesterday, I had a hoodie that said, treat people with kindness or something like that.
Hmm.
And I put it on to make me feel good. But you're a walking billboard. So the energy that people were giving me was helping me stay afloat, helping me be
Yeah.
love and light. And so I do therapy. I talk to Jesus. I do my meditation singing bowls, right? But sometimes that stuff don't work.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just that's why I was just like, what do you pull out? I in my older age have felt sometimes as if I am a walking like a functioning depressant.
Mm,
Um, I am constantly in my head, always.
mm,
Sometimes to the point where it's just like I have to find something to keep myself activated to remove. That's why like a lot of people like, oh my God, you work so much. It's just like when I'm working, I'm lending myself to something and I'm functioning and I can't
yeah.
dwell on me, but I haven't gotten to the root. I know part of it had to do with me that like
because I'm about to get at you. I'm actually about to stop you in this conversation because actually that right there does not work for me. I
what
worked in
doesn't
a
work.
charter school for 13 years. I kept myself busy.
No, no, no. I was about to get a little, but part of what would bother me a lot is that a lot of I don't feel like yet that I've reached my potential and level of success, and I feel like my mom left before she got to see any of it. And somewhere in there was this constant, don't you dare, don't, I saw that little sit back, that little, now we getting so, that, I've always felt like, I've always had to deal with that. That's why I took that conversation with my papa so seriously, because I'm like, I have you here, I have you now. I have to know, I need something from you, you know, because a lot of the stuff with my mom, but same thing with you. Like we were saying, like with friends. I have a friend. His name is Damien, nickname's D Dallas, who is probably one of the closest people to my heart, that just knows me in and out and everything. And only once in my life, I really felt that I was at my lowest. I was high, and it was like maybe too much drugs, you know, but I couldn't handle it. I didn't know my limits. I'm very new to drugs and like later in life. But going down that path, all of this stuff just started coming up. And I was fine when the people were at my house. As soon as everybody left, I started spiraling. And it just went down and down and down. It's to the point where I was laying on my living room floor, hugging my carpet with Damien on the phone on speaker, because he was like, you know, if you tell everybody, any of my friends, if you ever feel suicidal, if you're ever going through something, please call me. Like, no matter the time, no matter the XYZ. And I'm very pride strong in the idea that I would never want to bother somebody if it's not serious. But this night, I can't say that I would have hurt myself, but I was just so unsure. I was so not of myself that I didn't know what might push me over, what might take me to the ledge. And the weirdest thing about that night is that since that has happened, it stays with me all the time in this, how did I get there? How did XYZ happen? How did blah blah blah? And there's sometimes where I'm literally in the house and cannot pull myself out of bed. Like I do not have the strength or the capacity. I'm not taking calls. I won't go anywhere. I won't do anything. And it is really tough because when I leave the house, the pressure and the idea that when I'm seeing people, they share with me what they're going through, and somehow I still find a place for it. I still find a pace in my super low cup to allow someone to pour into me, because I was happy. You ever see, there's this little video and a meme of this little stick figure art, like animation, and the guy walks through and he touches a shoulder and it's like he gets a little shadow.
Yes.
He walks through, he touches another one, he gets another bit. Like, that's me. And I get home and my cup is depleted. And I would never be able to pull myself out of it. And part of the journey of going through that and the therapy aspect, the reason why therapy got tricky for me was because when I found the courage to share that with my therapist, immaturely, she told me, you just didn't have the strength to do it. And I sat there and I was like, oh my God, how could you say that to me? Like, because now in my mind is telling me, damn, you weren't even strong enough to kill yourself, or you weren't even strong enough to commit suicide or something like that. And I was like, that's not what I was thinking. But when you're in those impressionable moments, those words kind of stick to you like really bad. And it took a while, and it dampened and really stained my connection with that process. And it had been a while since I had done, but it was heavy.
Yeah.
But no one feels like that. You know, I'm so colorful and like excited all the time, but it is real. It's real.
Yeah. I want to say first that I am like absolutely present with you. Yeah, and I thank you for sharing that. Um, and that is a rule of thumb for me. I am not doing anything unless I'm coming from a full cup.
Yeah.
I used to give from my well and it'd be dry, and I'm steadily giving.
Empty.
And I'm not 100% always, on top of it, but I'm only giving up from my cup. So if that means that I cancel clients and reschedule things many times before because I need to sit in my bed and watch Smurfs. Because I need to make a wig, simply not to sell it, but just because I need to get back to me.
You need to get something out of you.
Yeah, it's filling my cup up. My cousin said this to me, and I believe it firmly. Depression comes for a breakthrough. There's something that we're not paying attention to, that like, we need to have a breakthrough. And every time that I've come out on the other side of the depression, it is a legitimate breakthrough.
I literally, like, if not to cut you off, but it's like when you were talking earlier, that gasp of air, I'm dying to get it. Like,
I heard you.
oh my God. Like, it's to the point where, like, I sometimes feel like I'm suffocating.
So I'm going to say a term, and I'm going to segue left, but to go back to the center. I had a conversation with my dad, and I said, I'm a whore. He was like, what did you say? I said, I'm a whore.
You were like,
I
don't
meant
promote
that.
me.
Yeah, I meant that actually in every sense of the word. And what I mean by that is that I would give up if you ask me somebody asked me for money today, or whatever you would ask of me, I think that you need it more than I do, because I'm going to always be okay.
Yeah.
Time.
But that's a tricky place, because I'm the exact same way, but I think that mine is more toxic. Mine is this idea that somehow someone needing something more than me elevates me past them, in the idea that I'll give to look like I can provide. However, now I'll silently be without.
Yeah. What is that?
Stupidity.
No, don't
Not
dismiss it.
stupidity, but it really has to do, I think it's a diluted perception.
Copy. Okay.
It's more of an ideology that, as my nuanced Virgo self, even if everything's not right, it has to look like it is,
Yeah.
because
That is
there's no
fucked up.
way. It is. It's very,
And
like, my brain is ridiculous.
I'm going to serve you in love.
Serve me, poo.
And what I mean by that, because that was me. You have one-sided relationships and people can't see all of you. And so
100%.
if you are presenting this persona of I'm the provider, you are creating a narrative about yourself that is one-sided. And for genuine relationships, genuine connections, you have to be able to allow people to see all of you.
Yeah, that's like, oh my God, could you, like, that, what you just said is just a mouthful. A mouthful. And I think that a lot of my relationships are with that. I've only had like one physical relationship with somebody once in my life. Once.
What does that mean?
I've only been in a relationship once. I've had one boyfriend my whole life. Like,
thank you for clarifying. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have guessed
8
that by what you
years.
just said.
But it was 8 years, but it was still one-sided. Like, I was in that space of being in a relationship with somebody who loves you more than you love them. Ooh. And you know how those end. But it also, in that term, when I'm saying like, oh yeah, lasted 8 years, that means I'm 8 years older. So it's even harder to adapt as an adult. Like, I don't even know how to date.
I'll teach you.
You were like, so come on, my little conversation.
No, because on the other side of that, because I also heard like a level of fear of me addressing that to you, for you, like, oh shit, like, I have to shift this. And
you heard it?
I heard it loud and clear. What I will say to you, because I'm on the other side of that, is that, and this is something that I really pride myself on, I don't have any unauthentic relationships in my life.
Yeah.
That
I
is the,
question those all the time. I'm
I
always
don't
in that
have the
space.
people, but what that means is that I had to clean house. I had to be authentic. I had to be vulnerable. Like, everything that I held in my ego, I had to be vulnerable with it. So if that meant that, like, to be honest and tell your friend that everybody want to go out to eat, it's like, normally I'm like, oh, I'm busy. That was my favorite. I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm busy. And the reality is that I don't have it. I don't have the finances. So the Holy Spirit actually ushered me through this whole process. It's like, no, you're restructuring your relationships. Tell so and so that you don't have it. And you know what ended up really happening?
Right.
Wow, people were so excited to support me.
That's every like, oh,
I would never forget that I had to go to a client, and I was having, my anxiety was just going crazy. And I texted, I said, I know that I'm supposed to be at you at 11:30, but I need to give myself some time because my anxiety is acting crazy. And I'm like this. And she texts me, she says, take all the time you need. I am here. But in
right.
my
And
head, it's
like
like,
even words like that in that space, I don't hear them as genuinely as they're said. Like in that
that's a you
moment,
thing,
I know. I can
right? And
feel you,
so let me
bro.
ask you a question. Well, I ain't gonna ask no questions like, you got a whole lot of fake ass relationships in your life.
I almost can agree with you.
And you don't have to agree with me. I'm clear.
I'm just like, no, the thing is like, I agree with you in an idea that until I acknowledge that, then it's not, they will continue. I think that what I deal with a lot of times is like a popularity thing and being in a space like we've been out before and like, how that is. And I have a lot of people that navigate towards me and all this other kind of stuff. And I do appreciate and love those. And I think that those people and like what they say or different things of nature, but a lot of times I'm always walking away to like saying to myself, like, this person don't even know XYZ, or this person don't even know that blah, 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 blah. And I have a lot of friends that in like entertainment that I'm always wondering like what it's like it's a in the face relationships. As long as we're in each other's space, in each other's whatever, it's 100%. But out of sight, out of mind. Like
Fact.
my Instagram got like reported and was down for a month and a half. I can count on one hand the people that I talked to, the people that called or anything. It's not like I'm expecting, certain things from certain people, but people that do overindulge in that kind of joy and love and all that other kind of stuff, I felt like is one-sided. And I do agree with you that I do have a lot of unauthentic relationships.
Yeah. So check this out. I
Ew, I
don't give
can't
a.
believe I just said that out loud.
It's funny. I wanted to be quiet and let it
It's
linger.
so
I
true.
did.
You what?
I wanted to be quiet and let it linger, actually.
Don't let it linger. Let's keep going. Cause I've been still there like, it's so hard. I be like, you don't understand. Niggas be trying.
But let me explain something to you. I don't care about none of that popularity shit.
Yeah, I
I,
used
I,
to. I can't lie.
I don't give a fuck. And yesterday, I actually, going back to the self-care, I was like, I had took my goddaughter out school shopping, and that little
I
girl
love
really
you,
was
Envy.
raggedy. And I was like, I need some adult time. I need some me time. So I went to Four West, and I was like, I just want to sit in the corner and sip my drink and eat my tacos. And that's exactly what I did. And I enjoyed myself so much. And then, people give eyes and people want to talk. And I was like, I spoke to one person, and then I just sat in the corner for about an hour until I was complete. And then then I had a genuine conversation. Now check this out. You and I just saw each other 3 days ago, and we shut the club down with a genuine conversation, right?
Just
We
sitting there
also,
chatting.
right?
Mind you, not to cut you off, I saw all your selfies you took in my phone. I was like, where'd I get all these pictures of Steven from?
Huh?
I was going through my phone. I was like, where'd I get all these pictures from
Oh,
Steven? I was like, I didn't take these. And I was like, I realized you have my phone. But keep going.
Don't leave your phone around me. I'm gonna leave a video. I'm gonna leave an impression. I'm gonna do some things.
I was like, bitch, that's me walking in the background. So what's like?
Yeah. But here's the thing. I remember I texted you and I said it felt like eating a good old plate of soul food.
A high
Right?
vibrational plate.
Right. And so the difference of hi, bye, oh my God, I love you, to what we got, right? I don't know if you're aware, there were so many people who kept coming around to be a part of the synergy that we were creating. That is two different situations. And I'd rather have a plate of soul food than a snack.
Yeah.
Right?
Full plate, baby.
I'm gonna get me some alkaline water versus the Arizona. You know what I mean? Right? That our conversations, our relationship is fruitful way beyond that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Versus people just want a dick ride. Right? And so what we create, if I see you and I can look at you and tell that your energy's not right because I care, I love you, and I know you. Versus this whole like that thing. I don't care.
Do you think have you ever seen me and you could tell, was my energy ever off?
Yes, there was one time I saw you in the street. Mm-hmm.
In the pink coat. When I had on the pink coat.
You remember? Yeah, I went right to that moment, and I didn't know you that well.
Insane.
Yeah, that was, and I hugged you that day.
I remember.
I was concerned that some things rattled in my brain that I won't say online, but I downloaded what was happening.
Yeah.
And I just sent love your way.
Oh, stink.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I just I went.
You remember that? Oh yeah, wow.
I do 100%. I'm very aware. I'm very aware of like when I'm moving through things, and then like when I see people, because it's like you said, like whenever we do see each other, it's that embrace. It's 100%. Like right off the rip. When I saw you that day, I was just like, oh my gosh, you got to pull it up. You know, like I had to show up like in that space, because you don't, especially if you're not seeing a person all the time, you know, want to say, hey, what's up? Like, how are you? What's going on? And you're just like, oh, I'm good, you know, but maybe not, you know, maybe aren't good.
My vision for the world is for us to be able to like see each other and like see each other.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that there, like when you see Steve and when I see Ricky, that like that he knows that I'm not right and I can share with him. And wow, this is making me emotional. That because of what we create, that like I'm gonna be okay because I feel safe to be, and I know that I'm gonna be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
In a club, the club has been the sanctuary for me. We began delivered. Having these transformative conversations.
It's Beyonce's church girl.
Okay. Listen.
She said, finally on the other side. It's 100%. That's really what it is. So you said you're going to teach me how to date. Do you date a lot?
Let me tell you something, baby.
Let me tell you something, baby.
Nah, here's it go. Let me do it. Let me break it down for you real quick. I really come to the place where I love myself. And riding on this vibrational frequency, you attract what you are.
That's true.
And I have been enjoying dating.
Oh, that's amazing.
What I also have been coming to the terms with is that a lot of people are intimidated by my power.
Mm-hmm.
And so what do I've been having a conversation with myself and I say, I'm not going to adjust, but there's something to be aware of. And so I've been enjoying that process of like the juxtaposition of like meeting somebody and just fucking. But to be courted, to go on a date, to hear what your degree is in and what your hobbies are in and share mine. And
it's exciting.
For our community, it is really powerful for us to date. I said this to somebody. I'm actually about to see him tomorrow. I hope you're not watching. But anyhow, we went out on a date and he was like, you know, he said something along the lines of like, I'm actually dating somebody, but I wanted to get to know you. And I said, that's fine. I'm talking to 5 people. And he was like, what? And I was like, just because I find you attractive does not mean that you're supposed to be my boyfriend or husband, my soulmate. The physical attraction is just the first gate. Don't get excited.
No,
because we might supposed to work in business together. We might supposed to be best friends.
As soon as I tell you I like you, we go together.
What?
Like I'm bad. Like it's bad. But I
Ricky,
think
first of all,
it comes from like I've never had boyfriends. I've never, mind you. I'm going on a date Friday. I leave the country on Saturday. Oh, stop. Thank you, Stan. Say no, but I leave the country on Saturday, and this guy that I've had like an intense crush on, not like, maybe intense is a little drag, the little nigga cute, but about like 2 weeks ago, like literally I saw him, and he was like literally took the opportunity, he was like, you my little crush thing, and I was like, oh my God, like I like you, like what the fuck are you talking about? So like in my mind, you like me, like what we doing, like what's up?
but
What we
I want
doing?
you to
Pull up.
pause on that, Ricky. Like those steps that I feel like I am, once again, this child, like my child is to come out. I think that gay is play.
No.
I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. For me, in this process of processing all of that, I'm like, all the little dumbass shit that I used to do as a kid that I was gonna be judged about or beat about, I get to do it and stand in it fully. And
Yeah.
nothing's gonna happen to me.
Yeah.
Right? That we get to feel like little high school girls when somebody likes us, right? That it doesn't have to go straight to sex, but I like you, you like me too. Oh my
I
God.
was melting in his truck. Like we were just sitting in the truck talking, hanging outside, like of the night, and we were just like just in there smoking and everything. And like to say that, I'm like, okay, so we go together now, like real bad.
No, Ricky, time on no. Flag on the play. Flag on the play.
That's
Check this
me.
out.
That's me. Like, I'm like, you
No,
can't tell me no shit like that. You can't tell me that you got a crush on me. I tell you I got a crush. Where we going?
no. So Ricky, pause. What you're supposed to do is actually like bask and enjoy in that moment.
I did
Like, oh
for
my
like
God.
30 minutes. Now we go together.
No, stop, Ricky. The fact that you're like, oh my God, you my boyfriend. I like live in that. Like have fun, but no, don't set expectation. But these sensations that your body feels.
With the best down the picture, how? 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 How I'm supposed to not? How I'm supposed to not? How?
Well, that's what I really love about dating right now is that I get to learn somebody new.
Yeah, that's
And you
what
get
I'm
to
looking
learn
forward
me.
to. That's what
Huh?
I'm looking forward to because it's like you just said this to me, and this is the third quarter. We about to go through eliminations. I ain't got no eliminations.
So this is the thing. We're so cutthroat in our space. It's not
Yeah,
that. We're so dismissive and so cutthroat. Eliminate the fuck. We human beings.
yeah.
If it don't work, cheers. Salute.
Cheers, yeah.
So here's the thing. I'm getting married in about 2.5 years. That's my thing. Like, it's not pressure. It's like where I'm
That
at
sounds
in
like
my mind, body, and soul.
pressure.
No, it's really not pressure. It's really not. It really, I mean, like, so me enjoying dating is just so much fun that I don't get my hopes built up. Like, okay, like that. Oh, you fell off the boat. Okay, cool. Like, I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
Everybody got their things, and so like, I'm really clear about like I love myself first. So I'm not coming to you looking for shit.
Yeah.
I got a career. I love myself. I got friends and family. You're just an added addition to what my life is, and it's amazing.
I'm learning that. I'm a very specific person. I do a lot, but I mean, like I travel alone. Like I go all around the world, just like sometimes by myself, sometimes with others, but I enjoy that space because your senses are so heightened when you're in alone, because like if you're by yourself, you're not talking. So it's like you're taking in a lot. You're hearing everything, you're doing all that kind of stuff. But I was excited to kind of know I just like anybody else don't have a play-by-play book of what's supposed to happen. I'm like weird about saying the wrong things. I'm like,
Be
if
yourself.
you don't text me today, I'm like, fuck this nigga. Like I'm moving on. Like
Don't have expectations when you date. He's not your man.
how? How?
No, for real. And that's what's fun about it because I was in a relationship and there were expectations.
How long
And
was
so
your relationship?
I'm gonna be really honest with you. Wow, it's so funny. I also want to say thank you because I don't talk about my business.
Oh.
And this is such a safe space for me to speak. So I would say, like, as far as like numbers are concerned, we dated for a whole year straight. But the reality is we never stopped fucking with each other up until this year. That's what was so hard about it.
That is
So,
tough.
so technically speaking, you were in a relationship up until June. That's the
Drew,
reality.
Drew right there.
Facts.
Drew right there.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing. We have to be honest with ourselves. How you still doing everything you would do in a relationship with some openness, but you're not in a relationship? That's you lying to yourself. And so the being by yourself and being like I enjoy that too. So the fact that like I get to have like some intimate time with somebody and I get to do my own thing. I ain't on lockdown yet. Yay, yay.
Yeah.
Like enjoy this process. Don't rush nothing.
When's your birthday?
July 16th.
So your birthday's past. He was like, your birthday passed. Mine was in September. I don't know. I'm looking forward to Friday. Of course, my mind is literally spiraling because I'm like, do I have to come up with everything XYZ? I just knew that it's been 2 weeks. We talk on the phone sometimes. We text every day. I do appreciate that because I like attention. I do. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm also like I'm about to go away for like a couple minutes. I was like I have not even seen you. We have not hung out. To me, I'm like red flag on the play. Like it's been 2 weeks, nigga. You ain't said, you know. But
Yeah.
pacing it, all that kind of stuff, because it could be like a nice winter. You know.
Yeah, I think that love has no boundaries and it's not a cage. So, and also love and true love, no one can take it from you.
Yeah.
And so you moving in like you move like a basic bitch, like one of them ugly girls who ain't never had a man. Don't do that.
Ain't never had no man. She funny though.
But here's the thing. Let's go with Ricky. You are complete. Anybody that comes into your life is just an added accessory. And so there's no desperation. There's no like all that hate that you're putting yourself through. Just stay present and have fun.
I'm trying.
And you are fun.
I am trying it, and I think that like I'm allowing Friday to kind of go. And I'm getting my hair done. I'm gonna be cute.
Oh, you better let her breathe that scalp.
I'm doing all of that, so then I think that it'll be nice to literally go right away. It's almost just like I'm dumb. It's like I like you. Oh, I'm leaving the country. I'm like gonna run.
Nah, stop. But here's the thing. It's the kids that get to come out to play. Lay in the land of the lap of luxury within that.
Yeah.
So I like you. And for me, I'm a grown man, so I get to stand in it. Like when I would run, I'm like, no, I like you.
Are you dating now?
What is that? What is that a trick question?
Huh?
Is that a trick question? Be specific. You get specific answers. Be specific.
Anybody on your radar?
On my radar, the honest truth. Ooh, wait, let me diplomatic. Nah.
Let me go through.
No. Is anybody on my radar? Is anybody like? Would you be more specific for me to help me answer this?
Is anybody on your radar? You could date as many people as you like, but it's just like everybody be like, but it's this little shorty, like, you know.
So okay, I'll be honest with you. Oh man, I'm on my radar.
I see what you did.
But it's the truth.
No, I see it. 100%. Cause like you said earlier, you attract like what you feel that. You did that. I see what you did. But yeah, I literally, it's gonna be my first time dating. We even asked each other today in a text. It's like, when was the last time you went on a date? You know, and it was just like such and such back in June. He was like, oh wait, I'm lying. You know, maybe last month, all this kind of stuff. He was like, yeah, what about you? Do you date often? I'm like, so it's been about like 4 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess what's the hold up? Why has it been so long?
I am very specific in nuances and just, I like simplicity. I think that everything about my life is always just so complex that I want that breath of fresh air to just, I want that exhale from, and you know, I want that like, that relaxation of just not having to worry, not having to think, not to be in my head. not to say that like when I text you, you got a time frame to text me back, but just, you know, keeping all that kind of stuff. Like my mind just wanders too much, and it'd be great to just be able to take my mind and put it on the dresser sometimes.
Yeah.
And just be present with a person and not ruin it with my thoughts or ruin it with past situations. So
And I'm gonna say to you, and it's yours.
it is mine.
It's yours.
It's mine. Boo.
Okay.
It is. I'm gonna figure it out. I think it's gonna be exciting though, because we have a really good dynamic. We already knew each other in a way.
Wait, do I know this person?
No. Yeah.
I'm gonna say something real quick, and I'm gonna keep it like, you know, I saw you with somebody, and I really loved and understood the energy. There's somebody that I know that I didn't know that you know, and I was like, y'all know each other? Oh my God.
I love that.
And I really like
it. You know what the funny thing is I kind of know everybody.
No, so you don't know what I'm talking about?
Not off the rip, no.
So time out, because we got to go straight to it. How should I say it? This person is otherworldly, and y'all are so unique. We met. You probably was lit that day. You met, so I didn't know that you knew this particular person, and we all met. I was like, y'all think I used to date?
I haven't dated.
So who is the person that you was dating for 8 years?
Oh, he's a police officer from Maryland.
So what the heck? This person, I was like, I would love to see what that
is. This like. Person tall?
Yes.
Oh, so that's an interesting. Wait, works in Harlem? Works in Harlem?
I don't know where he worked at.
Oh, okay. But tall, skinny?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very fashionable.
Yeah. We actually did.
Look at you scratching that head.
Because I know exactly what you're talking about. We actually, wow, Fred. I see what you did. Whoa. You were like, whoa. I see what you did. We have a great dynamic. Like I said, I know I can be a lot, and I always push people to want to be like amazingly great and all that kind of stuff, and they just pushed back. It was like, I'll move when I feel like it, and to me that just wasn't a thing. But it was just also like, it was just an uphill climb all the time, and I was just like, what is you doing, boy? Be my nigga. Like, what are you doing? And it didn't work. Like, it just wasn't anything. We would hang out all the time. It was cuddle. And it was the first time I actually got to feel that we're going to be better as friends energy.
I hear you. You know, friends.
But then I got tight, because then I saw him dating somebody else. I'm like, who the fuck is short? Like, I'm bad. I was like, who the fuck is shorty? Like, oh, because you know how you be talking to a nigga, they know all of us, they don't like, and then you see him with some bitch, you be like, oh, so now you like, I'm seeing that. And it's just like, he wants me to be cool and close with him and his new boo. What the fuck do I look like hanging out with you and your nigga? Like, no, bro, like, that's ridiculous. It's like, you want to show me everything that I couldn't. Like, no, that's too much for me.
Okay, I'll leave it there.
And then we definitely gonna leave that there. Cause I mean, now I'm gonna get tired. So first of all,
I just like the energy that you guys had.
It's because it's the one that got away.
Who the one who got away?
That's what that energy is that you said that you like. It's the one that got away. No matter where I am, it's a hug from the back, and like, he grabbed a little part in the back because he's skinny. So you know, and then he's tall, so I gotta hug him like this. Like a little. That's my set. Like, I love all that, but it's a mess, y'all. Fuck niggas, ain't shit. I'm not worried about it. We're gonna figure out what's up with work with you. Is anything coming out soon? Everybody can check out.
You know, I really get really weird about these conversations. For a myriad of reasons. And I actually had a conversation with somebody today. I was like, most people don't know my credentials.
Yeah.
Because
time to talk your shit.
Because I just don't want people to know me for my credentials. I want you to know me for my soul and my spirit. But I do think there's a time and place for like me in the entertainment industry to like flex. So with that being said, I have a film that's out in festivals right now. We will be in Atlanta on the weekend of the 3rd of November. We're up for best film, I believe.
Oh my God, congratulations.
Yeah, we've been winning awards across the board. I'm really, really proud of this passion project. I play a dad. I have 2 campaigns coming out in the fall that I'm not going to speak about when I see it's going to drop. I have 1 book that I'll be completed by the end of this year, and I'm writing another book. And I've also written 3 films, so I'm going
Oh
to
my
be
God,
putting those.
amazing. That's why you talk your shit, friend.
Yeah.
I love that. That's
So
exciting.
that's just a little bit for now, cause
Yeah, just a little bit. You know, you can't stuff a bitch. You know,
yeah.
make one for seconds.
But I'm here.
You gotta make one for seconds. I think that's exciting. I can't wait to watch because, like, I follow everything. You know, like I watch your motivational codes. I had to get up, take a shower because you was on the gram, sitting on the booth. You said, "Wash your ass."
Wash
And I
your
said,
ass.
Steven said, "Wash my ass." So you know, I got my fat ass up. I wash my ass.
Yeah, I love it. And I also there's like this social justice part. Let's go there, Steve. Yeah. So I'm a firm believer that when people transition, especially those who are close to you, they transition to push you on the other side. I believe that with everything in my being. And my grandmother, who passed away about 3 years ago, she was an activist. She was also a storyteller, and she was also a model. And the activism in me has been just like my grandmother wake me up out of my sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a social justice aspect of myself that I haven't really quite carved out yet, other than on social media,
Mm-hmm.
that I'm very clear that is a part of my brand as well.
That's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, and a part of me feels like it's equally as strong as my like acting and entertainment. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I like as I'm moving, I'm allowing myself to say like balance them together. Like it's not that. It's like they're all like together. And so to be honest with you, I'm nervous because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of my life is private, but I've been umption to move forward to speak. I have a video that I'm gonna release. Since we're doing this, I'm gonna release it. Wow. I
Oh,
need a
wow.
moment. I need a
Amazing.
moment. Yeah, I did a video maybe like 2.5, 3 weeks ago, and I didn't feel comfortable with releasing it yet.
Yeah. And now you
Yeah.
might get a little gist.
Because Ricky, you like, pop that cherry.
And, you know, it's been a little nigga too. So.
Yeah. So the activism aspect of myself is like something that is like a nice little jewel that has been creeping up that I'm just allowing God to move and my grandmother to instruct me on how to move.
Well, it's dope. I can't wait to see the video when you post it. I think everybody's gonna watch.
Oof.
So that's amazing. Wait, so let me thank you because we're about to wrap it up. I
Okay.
cannot thank you enough for your words,
Uh,
your honesty, your transparency, your insightfulness, your inquisitions, your questions, your vulnerability, your warmth, your spirit, your energy, your articulation, your fear, and your excitement for like
mm.
coming on this thing to like talk to me. I think that was amazing. And I think
Thank you. May I affirm you for a second?
yes.
I just want to say that I thank you for making this palette so comfortable and so safe. And I know that the rest of your guests, like you are an enigma, and this platform is where it is now. But I am charged to say this is going to be bigger than what you actually anticipate because a lot of us in the entertainment need safe spaces to be able to speak in
Yeah.
a way that is not clickbait worthy or for a check. And I see that your heart is really interested in like us as a people. And
Yeah.
so I just want you to get your baskets ready for the overflow of conversations you're going to have to transform and transcend how we look in people's eyes. People think that they know us in certain ways, but the questions, your availability, right, allows the audience to see us in their eyes differently because of the way that you chose to show up. So thank you.
Thank you. Oh my God,
Yeah.
so much. I appreciate that.
I
So stay
love you,
blessed,
Ricky.
everyone.
Bye, guys.
This was Stephen B. Walters,
Yeah.
guys. Check him out.
I love y'all. I love you, Ricky.
I love you too.
All right. Cheers.